Hey everyone, it's Eric here from LabFix. Got another video for you guys today. We got in this USB. It's a broken USB. See there? It's completely headless. And we flip it over to the back too. We also see some extra damage there. We'll go under the microscope. I'll also show you the other pieces I have. It's part of the head. And then there's also this extra piece that fell off too, that broke off. Oh man, it's so small. We can show it. Yep, that's part of the USB there. So this is pretty much the head that connected to the USB like this. And now this one is a little bit different. We showed other ones before. We showed like there was pretty much 4 pads that do connect to the USBs. This one's a little bit different. This one has nine pads that connect to the USB, and the head has 9 pins, right? So everything is all happy. You have to connect all of them. Now the thing is, we have a broken one like this, and it's completely shattered here. So we need to do something probably a little bit more unique. But I want to take a look under the microscope because I do see something else that's going on here. So let's actually take a quick look at it real quick. So we go under the microscope. We see the typical pads. Pads actually look to be pretty good. Maybe it's been worked on before, huh? Pads look a little bit off there. They don't look too natural. But it's a broken USB. And we see parts that are held onto, like the little sides. You can see that. Little hooks where the USB head hooks. So we see on the sides here where the hooks actually go in. See, that's actually damaged there, and that came off, and that's usually if it's broken or something, it snaps off, this gets damaged. Now a lot of these pads can get damaged too, or there could be trace lines that can be knocked, and we always want to make sure that that isn't the case. It looks like there's solder here or something. Looks to have been worked on there too. Let's get this up. Get that out of the way. Now we look on the back here, and this is a little bit dangerous because we notice something else here too, and it looks like that there has a component that has been knocked here at the very, very top here. Now it's a little bit hard to tell. Is this a cap? Is this a resistor? What exactly is it? So I'm gonna have to bring up probably, or look for like a donor on there to make sure exactly what this is. If we look even down this area, we could probably compare. Most likely it's probably one of these, right? It's probably a very similar type of cap or resistor that's up there, but which one is it? It's always hard to tell because we don't know. Especially if you don't have the drive information, we just get these pieces that come in just like this. It's been knocked, right? If it's been a little bit damaged or knocked or something. Or if you get one like the head and you don't have any other body of it, and you don't know which one you have there, we probably have to go look it up and see exactly what type of USB this one is. So we have the controller name, and we have obviously the flash. This looks like it was a SanDisk, but who knows what type of SanDisk and what model, what year, and everything. So this is going to be a little bit interesting because we definitely need to make sure that we find this component here, whether it could be a cap or resistor, and we need to see what's going on. So we need to look at that first. So see if we can find something, and then we would have to do pretty much a replacement piece here. We just get a donor one. This is a 9-pin connection, so we make sure we get a 9-pin donor. And but again, first we're going to look up this. So let's go ahead and see if we can find something, or get a donor, or find another component that's really similar to this.
So we need to do a few things with this USB. Obviously on the back here we did get a donor capacitor. It is a capacitor there. We did make sure we found that, and we got the exact one. So we need to clean up the solder for this first. We need to make sure that the cap is actually going to fit totally perfectly, and there's not going to be a problem with the connectivity. You don't want that. So we're going to be adding a little bit of solder here as a flux with the hard iron, and we're going to put this cap on. It's pretty much similar to the ones that are below there. This is a SanDisk like 128 gig USB that we found out, and we were able to get the part for it, so it looks good. Now we want to flip it over to the side, and we also have this head here, which is a donor head. It's a 9-pin donor head that we need to just attach. We're going to attach it just like this. But first we obviously need to clean it up so it's going to have a perfect connection, as well as not fall off when you put it on, right? You just don't want to go with the 9 pads, 9 pins connect. You want to make sure that this hooks on fine. It's not going to give any problems, short or disconnect or something. So we're going to remove the broken pieces here. We can use a little bit of flux, and with a hot iron, it's going to come up. You can push it down a little bit there, make sure the holes are actually perfect. We'll use a little bit of copper there too, clean up the holes. Then we can use a little bit of alcohol just to clean up all this flux, make sure it's nice. Now what we want to do is we want to put on the head, right? And we want to make sure that the solder is actually going to be perfect. So we're going to put a little bit of solder here just to make sure it's cleaned up. And we can attach this here for now. and make sure that the pins are going to connect. It'll be nice because it's a 9-pin. Usually if it's a 4-pin, it'll be a little bit more unbalanced. We'll do usually the sides hook first, but this one's actually kind of going to be okay because we're just going to do it right away anyway. And we're going to obviously fix up a little bit of the hooks here, and we're going to make sure that we add some solder so it's going to attach properly. So you'll see that it's going to fill up pretty nice, and obviously when you plug something in, it'll be very sturdy, and that's the whole point of that, and make sure that this is fine. So we did both of each side. Okay, so let's see. Looks to be good. Solder looks good. Solder looks to be pretty good. You see that there? All the nice pads around, and there's the replaced cap at the bottom there under my finger. I don't know if I can zoom a little bit. Yeah, there we go. So there's a replaced cap there. Let's go ahead and see how it's going to work. So we see a light, and we see it looks like that there is a problem really with the drive that came up. That's not great. Let's scan and fix. Oh, okay. Well, it makes sense, especially if it's been damaged or something. Quick. You can even see it. Woo! Okay. Let me go bring up my screen cap. Okay, so if I bring this here, we see the drive. Oh, it's a nice chunky drive. So it's good. We see folders here. We see everything else. So we'll make sure we back this up because obviously, even though it's a repair, we don't want to give the customer this back. So we'll make sure we back it up and then put on another drive. So while we were transferring the data, it was actually getting pretty slow and it was getting a little bit difficult to move the data over. So we don't want to be using this typical file explorer that goes through Windows. Since it was giving a problem, we don't want to expedite the problem, right? We want to make sure we get the data off and as safely as best we can. So we're going to actually pull over to our PC3000 portable here, and it's going to help us read the data a little bit differently in a different way. And this is one of the best, most elite and professional softwares to use, which is going to help us recover the data a little bit easier. Okay, so you could see, even doing all this work, that there is usually more involved with it. It's not just a physical problem, especially if you have like a bent or damaged USB. You need to have a donor head for it. You need to have donor components as well to get those and match them up absolutely perfectly. You need to have lots of stuff. You need to have microscope. You need to have soldering skills. You need to have lots of stuff actually to recover data from this, especially if there was an issue with the controller or flash, or maybe something was actually dying there. We not only needed to have the hardware skills for it, we also needed to have a very advanced data recovery tool such as the PC3000 portable to really help us extract data, especially if it was giving a problem. You know, all data recoveries that come in here are very, very serious. We want to make sure we recover the data and not leave anything by chance. So that's why we obviously have to use those tools, and we have them here. But nothing is always straightforward as it comes, right? So hope you guys enjoyed watching. Just learned something today about recovering data from a USB. If you did, please leave a like. It really does help us a lot. Subscribe for more content. See you guys in the next video. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Take care. Bye.